Okay, next topic. Reese Witherspoon told Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show that it's healthy to embarrass your kids. Oh. That way, they'll grow up with a good sense of humor. So, do you agree, or does she have cruel intentions? You all agree to
embarrass your kids. Interesting. I don't want to be embarrassing to Jaya, but I definitely feel like I'm starting to get more and more the cringe, like they'll say that. But listen, it's a rite of passage. Like even The Rock, his kids, I'm sure, are gonna think he's a loser at some point. Madonna's kids definitely find her cringe after this whole comedy thing. Yeah. Unquestionably. I mean, the bigger trick, I think, is eventually to embarrass your parents. Has anyone done that?
Oh,
be embarrassing towards your parents?
That's my whole teen years.
Right?
You embarrassed your parents?
Yeah. I just remember one time my mom, I was an adult, I was in my 20s, and I decided to walk her to church, and I was wearing like kind of an overcoat.
What did you do?
I just I don't know why, I was just starting to do a weird dance on the way. For no reason at all. To church. And she eventually was just like, you know what, you can just wait right here, and I'm gonna go in by myself. Bye. And I was like, it felt really good to embarrass her. That's all.
Was this a week ago?
No, this was not a week ago.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
What about you?
I've embarrassed my parents when I was a teenager, for sure. I think kind of being embarrassed by your parents is a bit of a rite of passage. I will say, though, like some kids, especially if they have a bit of anxiety, you got to be a bit careful. Yeah. I think you would want them to feel in on the joke. But I was never embarrassed as a kid because when I was like 11 years old, I was a child actor on a show called You Can't Do That on Television. Way back in the day. Stop it. Thank you. It was like a kid's sketch show, but as part of the show, it was like the kids doing embarrassing things, and especially the boys. You were always pretending to throw up or pretending to fart or all this stuff, right? And they found over the years that on a big TV set, especially around the other female cast members, boys would get very embarrassed. So as part of our training, they would have the boys do Scottish country dancing classes in kilts with the female cast members around you pointing and laughing as like a way to break down your embarrassment. You know, in the military, they like break you down to build you back up. They did this because they found that this helped the boys later when they were on the show cope with being kind of snickered at by their castmates and stuff. So as a result, when I got to like age 13, I was bulletproof.
Yeah.
I cannot be embarrassed.
So you were in it and you knew what they were trying to do, and it still worked.
They told us.
I think everybody needs this boot camp, right?
That's a smart idea.
And the instructor was strict, and we were in like these frilly shirts and like kilts, and the girls were all snickering, and we're like, this is awful. And if we laughed, the teacher got mad, but it worked. I cannot be embarrassed.
That's a brilliant idea.
Did you guys embarrass your...
Listen, my parents embarrassed me, but not in their like being goofy. My parents embarrassed me in a way that, you know, 407 years ago when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, we had something called landlines in the house. And that was like, you know, the phones with the rotary. And they were in communal places like the kitchen or the living room. And so, you know, when you're a teenager and you're trying to talk to some boy, and, you know, you can always hear when somebody picks up the other phone in another room. And my mother would always, I could be talking to anybody else, but if I'm talking to a boy that I like, my mother would instinctively just pick up the phone and I'd be like, stop talking. I can hear it, but stop talking. My mother's like, you've been on the phone for 4 hours. Who are you talking to? And I'd be like, and I'm like, nobody, Mom. I'm talking to nobody. And when are you gonna throw the garbage? I asked you to do that hours ago. And you just lying down, talking on the phone. Some of us need to use the phone. And I'd be like, oh my, that happened so many times. And that,
so she wasn't trying to embarrass you.
She was just being herself.
But that happened? Oh my God.
Kids today will never know that because they've all got a cell phone. You guys have no idea how lucky you are.
I think a little bit of embarrassment is good. My dad used to be goofy on purpose. Like he would try to make us laugh, you know, doing funny walks through a parking lot, yelling silly words.
I could have done it with them,
Yes, silly words, like just yelling fart in a mall and stuff like that.
Classic.
And I think I'm kind of grateful for it because I was never embarrassed even when I got older. And as a result, I don't think I have many inhibitions. Like, I'm a cheap laugh. Like, I'll do anything for a laugh.
You are a cheap laugh.
I am such a cheap laugh.
You're the best to have around.
Oh my God, exactly.
You're the best. Madonna could have used you.
Madonna needs you at the comedy bar.
I truly would have.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you, come a bit closer. We've got so many more must-see interviews, spicy debates, lifestyle tips, and pop culture moments. So subscribe to our channel by tapping the logo below and don't miss out.